Hello, my name's Ryan from Sage Business Solutions in Australia. I'm going to show you today how you can use ACT to evaluate your marketing spend, what channels are working for you, what's bringing in the leads and what's bringing in the eventual sales and revenue. So it's a very easy three-step process. The first step is to bring up the lookup that we want. So we can either go to lookup all contacts, or we can click on the contacts on the side. It's safer to go to look up all contacts and make sure you've got you've cleared any filter that you've had from a previous activity. So we've come up with our list view in the contact section, and this is every contact in our database. Now if you want to filter it and see, okay, I want to see the ones from New York, or we only want to see the ones from a particular date, you can do that, but for this example I'm going to work with all contacts. When we click on customize columns, we need the referred by column. All you have to do to make this work is when you get an entry, when you get a new customer, ask them, how did you hear from us? And make sure you put that in the referred by column. The more data you put into ACT, the more powerful your database is going to be, and the more evaluation and analytics you can do on your customer base. So we've got our referred by column here. We're all set to go. You'll see we've got some data entered in here. We've got direct mail, affiliate partner, advertisement. Okay, what we want to do now is shoot this over to Excel, and we just click on the export to Excel button, and it brings it up in a nice little table in Excel. Okay, we go click on insert pivot table. It selects the range for us automatically. Excel's pretty good at that. And we can either do new worksheet or existing worksheet. I find it's always safe to put in a new worksheet. Okay, click OK. We want the referred by to be our master column here, and we're going to select contacts to give us the number and drag it to the values column. And we also might want to have that repeated, and I'll show you why in a moment. So basically you drag contact into the values column twice. For the first column we go to value field settings, and we call that the count, and it sort of speaks for itself. All this is a count of those contacts in those particular categories. For the second column we're going to do something a little bit trickier. We want to see a percentage. Okay, so then when we select the show values as, we can go to percentage of column, and we can click OK. So now we can see straight away website brought in 52 leads and accounted for 26% of all incoming leads. Search engine accounted for 27% of all coming leads. Direct mail accounted for 23%. And if you then add a third column and put in your marketing spend that you spend on each channel here, you can quickly see how much each lead is costing you through each channel. For example, if you had 200,000 in the direct mail, all you need to do is 200,000 divided by 47 here, and you can see that every lead from the direct mail is costing you $4,000. It's pretty good stuff. So if we want to have a little bit more of a visual idea here, we can select a 3D pie, and we can sort of view it as a chart. We could also insert a column as well. Well, I haven't selected the table. Here we go, and we can see it as a column, count and percentage. What you might also want to do, returning back to ACT, is to look at the revenue that you've brought in. Again, you just go to opportunities instead of contacts, and we bring up a list of our opportunities. We want to make sure that we've got them all, so look up all opportunities. Okay, again we need to add the referred by column. And a good way of doing it in opportunities is that even if they're existing customer, okay, they may have found out about your company via a search engine, but the thing that made them buy was your email campaign that you sent them last week. So that's the kind of stuff that you really want to do this as well and make sure that you look at your marketing from both sides, from the leads and from the revenue that you're generating. So we're going to add referred by to the column here. We're also going to add days open. Okay, so now when we go click on export current list to Excel, you can see that we can very quickly bring up a list, insert a pivot table. We can select our referred by column. We want the total in the values. We want that twice so we can get our percentage. We might want to see the days open as an average. And we want to see opportunity to get the count. And we want to put that at the top there. So then just to make sure that it's easier to read and easier to see, we go to count, summarize by show values as a count, and click OK. The sum of the total, we want to see this as a currency, so we do number format, currency. We might want to see the next as a percentage, so we go show values as percentage of column. And the count of days open we want to see as an average, so we click on average and click OK. If we go in and just make this a little bit easier to see, I want to select a number with 1 decimal place. That's a little bit tidier. Straight away we can see that our website brought in 218 sales for a sum total of 1.6 million and accounted for 30% of our revenue. Email campaign accounted for 5%. Where we might look at something like the phone book, where the ad might have cost us a fortune, it only brought in 10 sales for $50,000. You might see that it's a better spend to spend on your website. You can do all kinds of analytics and stats. You can see your trends, you can see how much it's costing per sale for each channel, a whole range of stuff you can do here, and it really opens up the value of ACT, the value of making sure that you enter all this information into ACT in the first place, and it'll show you how you can use ACT for far more than just looking up contacts and getting a phone number for a company. So hopefully this has sort of given you another insight, another idea on how to use your database.